All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, not listening to this. It is Saturday, April 24th. Fucking day of the fights. Day of. Later than fucking everybody. Everybody else puts this shit out on Wednesday. And I'm lazy. And also, I like to wait until the fucking weigh-ins to put money on people because that's been shooting me in the ass lately. Just fucking killing me. Every time somebody's missed, I'm like, oh, that's good. You know, well, it's not good. You're a piece of shit if you do that. But I'm like, in the business of trying to make some goddamn money. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this guy's fucking cheating. He missed weight. I'm putting money on him. Turns out it's like, Alex Oliveira, where we end up finding out that when he landed in Abu Dhabi, when he landed for the fight, God knows how fucking far that is from Brazil or wherever the fuck he was coming from. When he landed, he found out that his son was being taken to the hospital and he had a medical emergency. Now, I don't know what the nature of it was, but it doesn't fucking matter. He says his mind is totally out of it, which everyone can understand at that point. Misses weight, not in the fight, all that, loses. Now, I can go back and look at the fucking odds. You know what? I will. I'm going to just start off fucking rambling on this. Nobody's going to listen to this shit anyways. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I feel like. So, Oliveira, his last fight, way off track to start. I don't give a shit. Last fight. Where the fuck is he? Lost in a round one guillotine to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now let's see. Let's see what the fucking odds were. He was only plus 120. Plus 120. The Rakhmonov, that motherfucker was only minus 140. Now, if you're telling me that no one out there, A, knew that he had a family emergency, and knew that his fucking head was out of it because of that, and then that's the reason he misses the weight, and then that's what he's got on his fucking mind when he's got to go in the fight, I think that's criminal. Because Oliveira is a big name, and they know that plus 120, people see that price with the name, because people take the name all the time, versus some guy who you've never fucking heard of from Kazakhstan. And you go, oh, yeah, I'm going to take Oliveira. It's plus 120, positive odds. These motherfuckers, man. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous to tell me that, because that changes everything. It's like there shouldn't even be a line available, because at that point, what are you betting on? It's like the guy, what the fuck? So you've got, God knows how many people cashed in on Rakhmonov on that. That is a total fucking, that is some lucky number 11 shit right there. Fuck that. I'll get into the rest of the fights now. That's just start off with that, because I saw that news. I think it was MMA, one of the fucking Twitter platform people. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? The bloody elbows and all those outlets of the world. Somebody put that where he was saying it in an interview, and I'm just like, that is the exact type of shit that I'm talking about when I say John Anik knows more and it has like a fucking inside, man. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Your dude will be walking out there, or lady will be walking out there, literally fucking inches from the octagon, taking their shirt off, getting fucking like Vaselined on their face and shit. And he'll be like, oh, tonight, entering the octagon for the first time since his entire family perished in their house fire, says he has not been able to sleep at night because he keeps hearing their screams. Let's see how he does. And you're just sitting there like, what the fuck did he just say? And I bet that guy at like minus 290. What the fuck? So, whatever. I'm fucking way off track here, but that's the exact kind of horseshit that fucking kills me. I ramble about it all the time, but it's like, where are you getting your info? People clearly know about this that the rest of us, or the rest of the betting public, is not privy to. So that fucking chaps my ass. I'll get to the fights now. Whatever. All right, UFC 261 happening tonight. Getting my shit in late. Whatever. Nobody's going to fucking listen anyways. Starting it off, very first fight on the card, I should say, actually. You got Ariane Carnelossi versus Na Liang. I don't even know where to start with this, because Well, first of all, I'll tell you who I'm going with. I'm going with the Brazilian Carnelossi over the woman from China, Miss Liang. And the reason being is because I want you all to blow. You know what? I'll fucking blow a picture of it. Carnelossi is huge. I mean, it says that they're having this fight at 115 pounds. She looks like she has, I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. She has like blow up arms. She looks like she could fucking bend a golf club like that monster from Happy Gilmore. Fucking Bo Jackson a bat. I mean, ridiculous. And the reason I'm taking her is because I watched something really interesting a week, 2 weeks ago. More plates, more dates. The YouTube channel. The guy did essentially a fucking documentary on Paulo Costa and, you know, his assessment of clearly what the guy fucking uses and his whole strategy of anything. And then he did an incredible breakdown of the way that USADA operates in terms of how they outsource these testing to these other nations in terms of they do third party things. I'm not going to get into it. You can look at the video if you want the details. The story is that it's unbelievably easy to manipulate. And if it's fucking clear if you look at this woman. I mean, that is not an insult to her. It is not to take away from any work that she's done because everyone knows you can take whatever fucking substance in the world you want to take. And if you don't work hard, it's just going to fuck you up. You're going to look like shit. I understand that. Whatever. But my fucking God. I mean, just honestly, dude, she looks like Paulo Costa's sister. I know I saw that somewhere online, but it's fucking true. And you saw it clearly. I mean, you'll see some of the same shit with some of these Chinese fighters too. And you can say whatever the fuck you want, but it's just different over there, man. And I literally know nothing about her. I just saw a picture of her yesterday, and I'm fucking throwing money on that because as ridiculous as I think it is, I'm not some regulatory board or here to be some purist of the game. I'm trying to make money, and I'm betting on the fucking person who I think is juiced up as shit. Now this could come back and bite me in the ass. She's minus 220, and every time I bet on one of these favorites in a women's MMA fight that's in this level, I always get hit with the upset. She does have the other things going against her. She's 4 years older, shorter, less reach. And being that fucking huge, I'm like, God, man, if she gasses out, it very likely she'll gas out because I don't know. I mean, Jesus Christ. She has got like this Rex Kwon Do tank top on her fucking Tapology page where her pecs are like just popping out. Not titties. Pecs booming. I'm just gonna take her on here and we'll see what the fuck happens. So that's just what it is. I'm going with the fucking Brazilian juice train. Next one you've got Jeff Molina versus Keeling Aori. I'm throwing Aori in the parlay just because I'm sticking with China for the whole theme of the card. That's what I'm running with. The fight after that, we've got Wrong versus Vargas. Wrong is 21 from China, UFC debut. Vargas is 35. He's coming off of back-to-back losses. His first loss, I should say, I believe in the UFC was a decision. It was something it was like it wasn't a huge deal or anything like that. However, the loss after that, he kneed a motherfucker in the face who was on the ground, like completely sitting on the ground, like, holy shit, man, what are you thinking kind of knee. And after that fight, which he clearly was disqualified for, he pulled out of his other one. So now you're looking at a guy who has back-to-back losses in the UFC and then pulled out of his fucking next fight. And then this is the one after that. He has not won a fight in almost 3 years, coming up in like May 15th, I think, 2018. Hasn't won, was the last time he won a fight. And by the way, that was in like Combate, Mexico, like a Combate 23, it's a Mexican promotion. So this guy hasn't won a fight in the UFC. So to me, I see the 14-year age difference, the fact that it's a top Chinese prospect versus this dude who they're like, if he loses, you can fucking guarantee he's out of the door. You're not going to see him again. That's what I'm running with. And I'm going to put Wrong straight up in the parlay. Or I shouldn't say straight up in the parlay. I'm putting him in the parlay. The pick that I'm going to make, however, the individual one on this is the inside the distance at minus 190 because that's an implied probability of like 65%. But with all the research that I can do on this shit, the number I'm getting on, my Phil Ivey advantage play is like 70%. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm running with that. I really believe that one of these two dudes is going to end it. I think they've got a lot of incentive to, a lot of eyes on Wrong, and Vargas is a heavy hitter, and the dude is like, he's fighting for his job, in my opinion. This is a narrative you can see played out time and time again if you really bet on these or pay attention to these fights that are really low on the card. They cycle motherfuckers in and out, and you can start to see when people get built up and built up, and then they start to move up the card. But you got to recognize who you think is on the chopping block and is fucked. Like, who, if you're sitting down and looking at this, who would you rather win? If you're Dana White or the UFC or whoever owns those motherfuckers or any of that, if you're in the business of making money, who do you want to win this fight? A 21-year-old phenom from China or a 35-year-old who has back-to-back losses and a legal knee and, it's like, cool. Literally nobody's heard of him and nobody like, what the fuck do you know about that guy, Guaranteed they can make more money off the dude from China, and that's what I'm rolling with. This is my one. So if I can make money off this early in the card, I'm fucking set. All right, after Wrong versus Vargas, we've got I really don't know shit about this dude. I don't care. I just saw he was a minus 265 favorite, and I said, fuck it. I'll ride the hype train. I'll bite the bullet here. Betting on Sabatini versus Conley, and I'm taking Sabatini in the parlay, that is, not straight up. And then after that, you got a couple that I'm skipping. I'm going straight to Uriah Hall, Chris Weidman, and I'm taking Uriah Hall. I think Weidman's done. I really just don't. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it, and just I don't see if he wins. Then I'll be shocked if it's anything other than him just laying on top of him for 3 rounds. I'll just leave it at that. I'm just throwing Hall on there and moving along, and it's the same thing with Shevchenko versus Andrade. There's just a different tier with the very, very top of the women's UFC fights, like Amanda Nunes and Shevchenko's right there. It's just, I don't care how big of a favorite she is. You're betting her until she loses. It's like a Habib thing. There's just no way you're betting against it. Next one, going Weili Zhang. I just don't think that fucking Red Scare McCarthyism shit that Rose is doing, dude, it's like, it never works. It never works out. Colby Covington pulled that shit with his fucking dumb MAGA stuff, got his jaw broken, got fucking embarrassed. It's just, it's a weird fucking thing to bring up, and like, well, she's probably not wrong. Like, I'm not sitting here saying it's baseless. It's just out of all the different things you could say, I don't know. Maybe she's just she's playing fucking 4D chess here and outsmarting us all, but I think it's pretty stupid, and usually it comes back to bite you in the ass. And I just think I'm going with the Chinese machine here. It would be so good for them to have Zhang win. I really believe that. You can say whatever you want, but people in America constantly underestimate how massive China is and how much money American businesses are trying to get out of them. So I'm running with that theme for this whole one. I promise you, I'll put my own fucking money on it. If you bet on every Chinese fighter on this card, you'll be profitable tonight. Promise you. If you're not, and you want to screenshot your fucking ticket or whatever, if you're one of the 3 people that hears this and actually, or one person that hears this and decides to put money on it, send that shit to me and I'll fucking reimburse you. Then you got Usman Masvidal main event. This one's it's just a no-brainer. Usman all day, every day. Back when the Tom Brady was on the Patriots and they had just the ridiculous run going, I remember seeing this group that would be at one of the sports books in Vegas, and they called themselves the Patriots Investment Club. And I always loved that. I thought it was fucking hilarious. And it's true because that's what they did. And if you think about that, and you see it all the time in different sports where just when people stick with a dominant team, like we'll keep it with UFC just to keep it simple, but like with Habib, if you bet on that man every time, you made money every time. Now it could have been like with Usman where it's minus 375, minus 400. He's a huge favorite, but like if you're just trying to make money and we're being profitable, I mean you probably had a higher return of investment betting on the Patriots year after year than like if you were trying to pick and choose stocks as like an amateur. And that's just the same kind of thing I'm running with Usman. I think he's just nobody he's got the perfect combination of shit. He plays the game perfect. You can say whatever you want, but he's boring whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to make money. I don't care if he fucking wins in a boring way if he wins. And I'm in the Usman investment club for sure. I'm going down with that ship. So yeah, that wraps it up. We'll see what the fuck happens, but China heavy, putting all my eggs in the China basket, as you can fucking see from this very graphic picture that's been in your face now for whatever amount of time I've been rambling. So I'll do a little check in after this shit because this is a big one. I haven't done this in a while, but it's a fun event. It's a huge card, a lot of big, interesting names, narratives, all that type of stuff. You're not talking about, Alex Caceres versus fucking Kevin the hillbilly Kroom or whatever. It's like you got some actual world class fighters here that's gonna be really fucking fun. So hoping to make some money on my China theory, and we'll see. So I'll do a little check in after this shit. But best of luck. Hope everybody cashes out, and yeah, we'll catch up later.